Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of Final Fantasy 13. So, we're after accepting a Cieth Stone that is in a unique area of the Mahabharata that we've never been to before. So as you can see when you look on the map, the star is off to the right there. So we have our teleportation stone, but like looking along the road, there's nothing except we can get to the Atomos and take that journey over to the little waterway area beside Tenjin's tower. But you can see there all the way off to the right is where this Cieth is existing. The trick is you're going to have to run to the very end of the Mahabharata, and I'm going to cut that out because we've already been down this road before for the early grinding and stuff. So literally get to where you can hop aboard the Atomos Fal'Cie. You have to take the journey over there, and then once you get there you have to actually take the journey back. And when you do that, Atmos will basically be in a completely different part of the Mahabharata subterranean. Where he will be basically in between a bridge area that you're able to then jump over him, use him as like a stepping stone, and then from there you're able to basically
find another route.
Get to where the Cieth is. Now, I skipped there purely because you just watch a cutscene of it rolling back. And that's the only kind of trick to this, because without knowing you're meant to do that, you can literally be wandering around saying, is there like a lever? Is there a switch or something? Like, how do I get past that particular area? So as you can see, behind us is actually like where the teleport stone is and everything, but going forward gives us a little save point. So we're able to just progress on through this new area. And to be honest, this particular area, even if we had done it directly after the like if we had have just in the story come straight back and done this, you know, we would have been maybe a bit under leveled at the time. But we're just picking up some upgrade materials here, and we're kind of going to try and make sure that Snow's offensive weapon is going to get as much of a boost as it can to get to his star rating. And like, those yokes are amazing. They don't even take away that much of the multiplier. And again, we're literally able to boost our attack way higher by just equipping the battle standard there. Nearly up to 2000 strength. And as say, similar to lightning, and then hope obviously is just way higher because he's spec'd for really high damage with his high magic. But this part of the post game, I mean, it's just, we really only have 3 things we have to do in the post game: get experience to level up, get money to upgrade our equipment, and get these Cieth Stone missions completed. And like a 4th, you know, thing is just to basically find... We basically have to just find a bunch of treasures on the chocobos. So that's really where all the treasure, all the remaining achievements come from. You just collect every accessory and weapon, which means you should get lots of money to upgrade all the accessories and weapons, or buy them, as the case may be. We have to upgrade and transform all the different accessories to get like all the different versions of accessories, so that requires a lot of money. So it just requires a lot of fighting the adamant tortoises for potential platinum ignits, but as well as that, we can potentially get trapsahedrons, which help us get our ultimate weapons. So we're really kind of just in a quest of complete Cieth Stones, and maybe in the interim grind for some money, and in the interim level up because we need to get to max level on all characters. And then it's like get ultimate weapons, get money for the other accessories and weapons. But that's kind of it, really. There's not an awful lot left to do, but there's just a lot left to do, if that makes sense. Like, there's not a lot of different things to do, but we're just still busy with all the busy work that we still have to do. So this particular episode is kind of just tidying up random little Cieth stones that we basically need to get through to access other areas that then allow us to access the rest of the map, which, as we say, behind that big red barrier Cieth stone is a whole area with a bunch of different Cieth stones and treasures and whatnot. But as well as that, there's also a place known as the Fault Warrens, and the Fault Warrens, for those that do not know, are essentially a place where we have to encounter the Titan's Trials, and these are a series of Cieth Stone missions that you have to kind of go through in like a bracket system. You get through round 1, you move on to round 2, you move on to round 3, and then on the 4th round you sort of fight this big boss creature, and then when that creature's finished with, you basically get really good rewards from all these end tier creatures, these kind of rank 4 creatures after getting all the way through all these different fights. And it's like a branch bracket, so like you start off on A and then you can choose to fight B or C in the second round, and then on and on the brackets go. And once you complete all of those different trials, you get another secret boss, and we get really good accessories from it. So anyway, on to this. We need to use the Libroscopes, because basically all these little ones are basically needed to be taken out in order to find the big one. And what we need to do is cast Eroga, because it's a nice big AoE and can literally one-shot all these different bats. And while the Blitz and everything is working great, that's why we wanted Snow to have even more strength to kind of help him get rid of these. But now we can focus on the actual mark themselves. We need to now use our Libras to basically get that done, but he actually grand summons more of these little ones. And again, an Eroga has just the amount of space to literally allow all of them to be taken out all at once, which is exactly what we want. And now that he's staggered and he has no other little minions, we can now just have Fang and Snow go 90 as commandos, and then we're just literally going to just interrupt because he's staggered, skyrocket the stagger bar since they're all really high level Ravengers, and then now that we have it up to near 700, we're basically one more round of commando volleys, and that's it. Game over. Interrupted his attack and completed with 5 stars. And for that mission complete, we end up getting a Uranite and a new rank. And once again, this is one of these undying marks. So this little stone evaporating away goes to basically summon a big boss towards the end of the game, basically the big kind of end game boss, I suppose. We're never going to come back to this area because we're after you know, completely completing this with 5 stars, so that's brilliant. And as you guys know, the Cieth Stone to activate is all the way over the other side of Pulse. So we do not want to be traipsing all the way there. But to make it that little bit easier, we can just unlock this new Cieth Stone for another teleportation point within the Mahabara. Number 18, really good. And what's super handy with all of these ones is that the mark is literally just around the corner. It's very nearby. Just avoid all of these, and there's nothing to write home about this one really. Once you have a Deceptasol, which we do. And this is just to show you guys one little feature, because then I realized, oh, there's a group of enemies and they're actually before the mark. So you might say, oh my god, we're after wasting the Deceptasol. If you actually retry a fight that you used a shroud on, you actually get refunded the shroud. And that's the case of all shrouds. If I had used all 3 shrouds, but I ran into the wrong encounter, and I was like, no, I didn't want the encounter for this, it actually refunds them all to you, so you don't end up wasting them by accident, which is absolutely brilliant. And now that we are just going to have our max stats, do max stat stuff, and just waste away these enemies. Like, we can remember, even when we had maxed our stats out before, it made these pretty trivial. And obviously, now that we're all that much more powerful, it just is a lickety-split 5 stars, nearly 10,000 experience. That's with the growth egg, of course. But as you can see, we got our Deceptasol back, so we're actually able to start this now with a preemptive, which, given our high stats, should allow us to 5-star instantly. And that's really what we're going to need for all of these different Cieth Stones. We're going to need to have Deceptasols on hand in order to get preemptives where we can, in order to max 5 stars all these different encounters, you know? And with a Thundaga for good measure all over. And because of the bonus and just our high stats, we got everything completed. And another Sorcerer's Mark, so if we want to help Vanille get really high, or Lightning, really high in magic, we can definitely do that. And then it's just the case of running a little bit back, go to that newly activated Cieth Stone to teleport back to Pulse and get back to that little necropolis area. And again, just showing you all the different Cieth that we're after getting. And the main thing with Cieth is they're just weak to all different magics, so Ravengers can stagger them really quickly, and then we can just destroy them with the Ruin. But this is something I'll definitely read through more fully, maybe in like a, you know, once we platinum the game, I can like read through them just as a little like after credits conversation around the lore and stuff. But this is really where I like to do the Cieth Stone stuff, purely because they actually get you so many levels by just doing them. And we'll especially see this in Titan's Trial, where I'm going to be cutting out an awful lot of the repeat ones, because unfortunately, if you want to do a different 3rd tier fight, you still have to go through the first fight and the second fight, you know? So now that we're back here, we're going to just have a quick save, and then we're going to just skedaddle back. And having just a look through all these different quests that we still didn't 5-star as well, you know? It's kind of frustrating that we don't kind of have all the 5 stars as we go. And now if we're able to get basically our Deceptasols, we can realistically get through quite handily. So again, if you're able to find these little treasures, definitely get them, because you need to get 20 treasures to get a separate achievement. So like, it might happen off camera. If it does, I'm really sorry, but like, that's basically what you guys have to do. And don't forget, now that you're able to use the chocobos to jump over those yellow circles, you're definitely able to collect some really good transformation crystals and whatnot. So do not miss out on those, basically. You get like your scarletites, which are normally the cost of like quite a lot of gills, so just getting them in treasure chests is always a nice boon. But again, certain Cieth stones are only accessible via chocobos, so now we have our tribal warfare as well. And that little ring of Cieth stones over beyond. Another thing to look out on. But basically, this one's over beyond in this area here, next to where we can fight the kind of Valley of Adamantortai. So once again, put on your Deceptasol and you should be able to basically maximize all your staggers and all your damages. And once you basically get to stagger everything, you are in for a really quick and easy 5 stars. Now, we just have this goblin chieftain left, but realistically, he's kind of just left on his own, and all of the other ones went so quickly. If you struggle, what you can also do is use Quake. Quake should allow you to keep everything at a high stagger, or even Hope's Last Resort hits the area of the whole battlefield. But regardless, we got 5 stars anyway. 13,000 thanks to the growth egg. So with that mission complete, we get the survivalist catalog, and that's actually really useful in finding more drops. So you have the collector's catalog to get normal drops that enemies drop, the connoisseur for the rare drops, and yeah, once again, the Cieth stones being handy in that a lot of the time where one leads you to, there'll be another Cieth stone nearby. So where is this one? So just over by where the Chocobo reserve is. You just come around the corner from that Cieth stone. So again, this would have led you here, which would have led you to that other Cieth stone there. So very simple to find them all. I'm just cutting out all the traipsing that you have to do across pulls. But once again, your commandos get it done super duper quick. 1 second, guys. Like, are you serious? 1 second. Like, just because they have Aurora Scarves, if you preemptive and you have weak defensive enemies and you have 2 commandos with Aurora Scarves, you can finish a fight in 1 second. You heard it here first. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 anyway. So we have the first 16. So now it's just the case of getting the old ones to 5-star. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but realistically, all we ever needed was the Deceptasol bonus. And since we basically have commandos with Aurora Scarves and Blitz, as well as Hope with his Baraga.
And I was just getting started.
1 second again. Like, I know it's a very early game mission, but still, easy 5 stars once you Deceptasol. And realistically, do you see those big turtles? Like, you can farm them for gold dusts, and those gold dusts will literally get you 1 Deceptasol. So, like, that's good. And then, literally, it's just the case of this guy was over beyond, near the teleport stone and the Yagma Mastiff. So, just teleport to this one here. And you'll literally be right beside the mark, essentially. And again, we just have to sell stuff to get a Deceptasol. Once we have a Deceptasol, we'll be a-okay. So again, the mark's there, and we're handy that there's a save point to the other side of it. So we have 23, we just need a small amount of money, so let's just see what we can sell here in our components. We have the Moogle puppet, so that literally is just there to be sold for premium, so bye-bye. I wonder if we'll ever get a Moogle puppet in other iterations of this game. But basically, my idea, guys, set the game to easy mode, go fight some of the Adamantoises. They will drop Platinum Ignits, which you can buy 5 Deceptasols from. So get 3 Platinum Ignits, 15 Deceptasols in very rapid succession. You'll find yourself literally preempting any fight. And with our stats like this, you will be 5-starring so quickly. So that's kind of my guidance, at least for getting the, initial couple. There will be some that unfortunately you can't preemptive strike. But to be honest, I think myself, the ones that you can't preemptive, they will probably be more lenient to you, more than likely will 5-star them just through good strategy. Now, this guy I was back and forth on, getting 4 stars all of the time. And basically the whole thing is, if you can preemptive him, you just need to preempt, you need to basically get rid of him within his first kind of batch of his HP bar. You cannot let him do the typical behemoth thing and recover. So what I'm basically doing is trying my best to get as many debuffs that I can literally go, okay, he's a weakness to all these things now. And once we can just do all the damage with Cerberus now, we need to get rid of him before he feels all that energy back.
And I was just getting started.
Again, much easier if you preemptive, but because he didn't recover his HP, it didn't drag on the fight, and we got the 5 stars. But again, so much easier if you just had another Deceptasol, and you just grinded out your Platinum Ignits, got a load of money, and basically now we have up to the first top 10 missions 5-starred. And we will hopefully try and just keep that going. But unfortunately, I do not have more Deceptasols. I didn't take the time to grind. And sometimes you're literally traipsing around posts trying to do these missions, trying to do them the legit way, trying to kind of say to yourself, okay, look, we're really high stats. Surely we can just power through these and get 5 stars really quickly. But these are multifaceted problems. One, the target time goes way lower when the game knows how powerful your characters are. So getting 5 stars becomes very difficult when the game says your stats are like this. You should be winning this way quicker. And the other problem is we don't have the gold watch. That's an accessory we get for beating every single Cieth Stone. So it basically means if you've beaten every stone, now you have an accessory to basically help you 5-star them all. Whatever ones you're struggling with. And the other issue is the fact that when you get a Deceptasol and you use one, you get a multiplier to your score because you got a preemptive strike. So therefore, it's just a lot harder. But we're going to go on to more Cieth Stones next episode. Thanks for watching.
Make my wish come true, let darkness slip aside, hiding all the hope, marking what we treasure, battles we can win if we